So this game you're playing Nautilus, Varus
Et j'ai mis un
against...
E à travers le.
Oh, I mute that. I just tried to get the draft first. Okay. So, your Nautilus Varus against Lucianami. You have Trundle, they have Jarvan. When you look at this comps, like, what are you thinking usually at the start of the game?
I'm thinking that they have like some good power mid game with Lucianami. They have maybe split with Fiora. But I feel like 5v5 team fights is ours with the Vex and the Varus. I feel lane is pretty okay for us. Lucian can't really dash in because he would get punished hard.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of have Summoner advantage because he plays Cleanse and we have Heal Ignites.
Agree.
Nami is not that squishy because she plays Resolve, second tree, and we have decent sustain because Varus started the Longsword 3 pots. We don't have TP on mid, so just need to be careful on that. And Jarvan will look for early ganks, so we need to be careful about that too.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything about this lane that you feel like, for example, when it comes to push, is there any conditions that you need to get it? Like, can you get it at all?
I mean, I feel we can contest the push. I can't really use my hook aggressively because if I use it and miss it, Lucian gets free punish on us. So it's more about like just menacing the go in. But I feel like we can contest it decently, early game at least. Level 1 for sure, and then level 2, 3 we have to respect more, but...
What about jungle 3v3? How do you feel about it?
I mean, we have the burst with the PTA on Trundle, I guess. They win probably long skirmish.
Interesting. When I look at these three champions from both sides, what I'm thinking is that both sides are like really good at bursting someone, but like they don't have a lot of long-term. Like obviously, if Lucianami can get 2 rotations of skills, right? They're pretty strong. But usually, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna try to burst someone. If maybe I don't know, like Trundle flashes the Jarvan EQ and he doesn't die, or he like survives with 10 HP or something, or Varus does, or you do. It's really hard for them to keep fighting you after. So it's a lot of, like, for the 3v3s, it's a lot about the first 3 seconds, and then after you're kind of in advantage, I would say.
Yeah, I was thinking like if I hook someone, I feel like we absolutely win the fight. But if I miss my hook,
you're kind of
fight
useless.
is kind of doomed because they have free damage on me. I'm a bot. Plus, Jarvan plays Conqueror, so if it gets too long, he can stack, and it's not that great.
Yeah, that's true. We talked a bit about like lane priority, and I guess you don't have a lot of control in the lane, but you can kind of contest it. Like, what is your champion gonna do this game? Like, when you look at enemy comp, like, do you want to just stay bot and later you play on Herald and stuff like that with hooks, or are you looking to do something early? What are you thinking when you're going into the game?
I think my R in fights is more about like controlling Akali and Lucian if they tend to dash in. Hard to go on Fiora because they're overpassed. It's kind of hard to leave bot that much because Lucian Nami can really punish the Varus. But I can also play mid because she has an ignite, so we can maybe look for a kill there on a rotation. It will depend how the early game goes, I guess.
Yeah, so to me, one of the first things you should try to identify in the game when you're playing a champion like Nautilus or Pyke or whatever, like this kind of engaged supports, right?
Yeah.
Or like playmakers, is are you trying to stay in lane and making people play around you, or are you trying to leave lane and play around people? And a lot of
Okay.
games you can do both, but it's important that you can like differentiate games where you can't do one thing but you can do the other, right? Because this
Yeah.
game, I agree with you, like this to champions, you can't leave and go mid. But this matchup, like if you could go mid, it would be really good for Vex, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you can be perma there. Like you can dive to just you and Vex level 6. Akali, if she's like 70% HP, she just dies. And you can
Mm.
literally dive her, right? But
Yeah.
this is not the kind of game where you can easily move to do stuff like that. So
I
it's
mean,
important. Yeah,
I
tell me.
feel like I feel I can do it, but like on like really strict timings.
Yeah,
Like for
exactly.
example, if we get a good crash and I have like 15 seconds to go mid, I can like hop on mid, try a Q, and
Yeah, or
go
if
back bot.
Trundle
But
goes bot and he gives you push stuff like that,
yeah, I can.
you can definitely have timers, but it's not as free as other games. Like if you're playing, I don't know, against Trash Lucian, for example, this matchup is completely different, right?
Mm,
Like it's not that good of a lane, so you just get push a lot of the time and you can move a lot more freely, right?
yeah.
So it's important that you can see that in the game. I also think I already watched a bit of the early game of this game, and I think you trading flashes here is interesting. And I would talk a bit about it.
Okay.
Like, what's your opinion on trading flashes with Jarvan?
Um, I feel it reduces a lot his early game power. And that's why I went for it. I feel that I still have Hex Flash to make some plays in early game, and I'm not that really flash dependent in lane, so I don't mind losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it like enables my top side a shit ton that I do it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think Jarvan this game he can do some damage in mid and especially in top because like this is a pretty tough matchup, right? Fiora versus Glad. Um, and in mid it becomes a lot harder to play if he doesn't have flash, especially against Trundle. Like if he EQs, he just dies without flash, right?
Mm,
But the important thing is that you understand, like, okay, I flashed here, I traded my flashes. Uh, this means a lot for your lane. Like, yeah, you can make some plays from the bushes or whatever, but realistically, if they're playing well, it's never really gonna work because they should have bush control, like 90%
yeah,
of the lane, right?
yeah.
So it's just important that you understand, like, this game, I traded my flash. I kind of don't want to play bot a lot unless there's like an opportunity. Uh, I did this to favor my lanes, which is fine.
Okay.
I think it's a good thing. All right, let's look
Because
at the game.
I
Mm-hmm.
also do it quite a bit. Like level one, I run 5-man mid with the home guards, and I Q flash on the enemy mid laner. I do it like maybe 50% of my like in-house or tryouts, and it always works. I always get a burn flash, and I feel like most of the time it's worth it because I can just like hover a bit back on bots and not get punished for it, where it enables so much my laners.
Yeah, I think it can be worth like this game. If you were to do it, maybe it's a bit more debatable. Like you're playing against it's Vex versus Akali, and Akali doesn't
Okay,
really want to.
but like
Mhm.
against immobile like mage
Yeah,
mids like Rise,
or Victor
Victor,
stuff like that. It does a
Orianna,
lot
yes,
sometimes.
yeah,
I agree. So to me, it just depends on the context of the game. As long as you're thinking about it before you do it, then it's
okay.
more than good. Do you remember why you leashed this game?
Um, can you? I don't remember the comp.
Uh, I don't really understand French, so
No,
it
I
wouldn't
said
help.
um, they have Jarvan Trundle.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's because we don't think we can have pressure anyways.
Hmm.
So might as well help the
Okay.
Trundle leash. Yeah, I think that was the reasoning.
I think level one you can kinda contest the wave, right? Like you're not gonna get push, but
Yeah.
you can make it harder for them to like stack trios and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see a leash, this just tells me that you're kinda giving up on bot first 3, 4, 5 waves usually, which is fine.
Okay.
Like depending on the game. Um, I'm just thinking that if you're playing, like if you do this just because you can't get prio early, which a lot of bot lanes do, what will end up happening a lot of the times, like I can't really see it too well there. A lot of times, what's gonna happen is they're just gonna move, like support's gonna move here, and AD carry is just gonna position aggressively, right?
Yeah.
And then you guys are just gonna scrap until death, and or you're either gonna use summoners or lose a lot of HP or whatever, because they have a lot of position and they can just choose to fight, right? I don't think Lucian Nami is really that kind of lane, because they're not that strong level 1.
Yeah.
But you're still giving them a very big slow push into third wave crash, which can be an issue. It just depends, like, do you think you can get Dove level 3? I don't think you can this game as long as you play well with your Q, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. But it's important that you don't auto-pallet this kind of stuff, because even at like high level, people do it. Or they're just like, oh, I'll just leash. I can't get prio anyways. And then they have, I don't know, like trash. Yeah. Like trash driven or something, and they just fist fight.
He probably, I mean, he doesn't need the leash, but we can contest level 1 for sure, so.
Yeah, I think this game it's fine.
Oh no, I think that one of the reasons is since we invaded topside, we thought that maybe they had put some wards or like they maybe stacked on bots.
Yeah,
like,
but you can. I think you can walk like this, and now you can just leave, right?
Yeah. Okay.
If that was the reasoning.
Okay.
Did you notice anything so far?
I mean, they didn't punish us for for the fact that we leashed, and
it's more simple than that.
Could you replay maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, they have fast push.
No, look. Nami has resolve, right?
Yeah.
This is normal against Nautilus.
Okay, yeah, she uses various procs or bone plating.
She doesn't have it. She just doesn't have bone plating.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize.
Right? But it matters a lot in this lane.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, she has resolve because of bone plating. Which makes sense. You kind of want it, right? But if she doesn't have bone plating, now if she's like playing here later, and maybe like Trundle is doing a 3-camp gank or something, if she has bone plating, you're not gonna hook her because, I mean, you're never killing her, right? You're doing 0 damage. But if she doesn't have it, now you certainly can just burst her, right?
Okay.
So it's really important that you notice this kind of stuff in lane. And it's so simple, like people overlook it all the time, right?
Yeah.
But Varus can proc it really easily. So it's not that great of a rune, I think. But if she doesn't have it at all, there's like never a timing where you need to worry about it, you know? So far I feel like they're playing really scared. I guess they're afraid of... Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense too. Was a good hook. Were there any calls in the game about Jarvan's pathing when this happened?
I don't think so. I think we expected him to maybe look for a gang bot, but we didn't expect him to do 2 camp, like red 1 camp bots.
Yeah. As long as you know that he did red 1 camp, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because we see I tab, I see 8, and I think I called it, or Jungle did.
Yeah.
But it was called.
That's good. I'll kind of fast forward a bit because nothing should be really happening here. Okay, so now you get like your first bit of control in the lane. What do you want to do with this wave?
I think we slow push into reset, and we ask for Trundle to come back us up when wave crash.
Mhm.
And then I can either reset or look for rum timing on mid.
If Jarvan is still bot, do you think you can contest this wave? Or like, do you think they can contest it, I should say?
No, like 33, if we have the wave, I think we win. It's depending on my hook, but
I agree. Just one small thing. Like here, when you go ward,
yeah.
I need to see this before I. Okay. Do you remember if Varus says? I don't think he has one, so he probably warded already. So I don't think he can actually ward in this game. But wards like this, they're like not very far from the lane. Maybe this game you can do it because I think Varus warded earlier, probably a bush or something. But it's important if your AD carry can put it instead of you, it's better usually, right?
Yeah, so I can put it when I go roam.
Yeah, exactly. Because maybe you're gonna go mid and like you can put one here or one here, something like that.
In that case, when I start, because more often than not on support, I like to go put a ward in lane to get like early bush control, and I always will reset with
Sweeper.
Red, with sweeper. But like I don't know, like a few months back, I used to ask my ADCs to do it instead of me, so I can, whenever I get roam timings, I can still put wards. Is that like a decent option, or is it just like troll and I should just take sweeper?
No, I think it's better. Because if you think about it, a lot of the times what you're doing early is like you're never using sweeper when you're roaming, right? Maybe if you're pike or something. But even then, it's only after first recall. It's never like level 3, level 2, level 1, right? So I think it's better if your AD carry has it and then he just sweeps these parts of the lane, like the bushes, and sometimes a bit outside of the lane, and you can just ward however you want. And then on your first recall, you can just sync it and you swap it.
Okay.
But this game, I think double ward is good. You're not really looking to contest bushes, right? So. Right, Trundle is clearing. I'll go a bit fast.
I tell him we're fine for now, and that it's for the tribush, so that's why he doesn't come.
Okay, let me see how this plays out. Okay, so I don't know if this is like miscommunication or if it was your intention. Like right now, you want to crash this wave that's coming here, right? If Trundle goes to his camp like he does in this game, and you're playing very slow and back because I don't know, maybe Jarvan is like in this bush or is like here waiting for a gank or something, right? What's gonna happen is that they're just gonna get control back from the wave. Like here they're playing pretty slow. I think they shouldn't be. Like if they're a better bot lane, they see you over here and they have full summoners, Lucian has E, like there's no way you hook anyone and you actually kill them, right? Even if Trundle is in the bush. So if I'm this Lucian, well, not me, because I'm a bad player, but if this Lucian is better, like he's hitting this wave a lot more than this guy is, I think.
Okay.
And it becomes a lot harder to later get a crash and eventually a recall, right? Because the only reason you can do this right now, the only reason you can like get a crash is because you have so many minions as an advantage, right?
Okay.
So I think
I should like communicate more to Trundle, like he should do golems and then come.
Yeah, I think if he does golem straight up, actually, yeah, okay, they're up. Like if he does golems right now, I think it's fine because like this position is really awkward for Lucian Nami. They can't really trade with you, especially after these two minions are dead, right?
Yeah.
So they can't hit the wave. Like it's very awkward. Maybe they can hit these 3 minions, but they can't hit the cannon. They can't hit anything else. So while you have time, it's fine.
Sorry.
While you have time, I think Trundle can do his camp. If as soon as the wave starts going into the middle, like right here, because right now you can like start walking forward and pressuring them off the wave, right? But if you don't do that, you're basically losing your timer of actually stopping them from hitting the wave.
Okay.
So this game, I would say Trundle can either do his camp right now, and then he comes, or if he skips it like he did this game, I think you just commit to it. And you need to remember, like, you're not trying to kill anyone. You're just trying to make sure you get a crash, right?
Okay.
So yeah, and now he doesn't even come bot anymore. And the wave is in a pretty awkward state, I would say. Like, obviously you guys can play 2v2, but you don't know where Jarvan is, and now playing is pretty awkward, right? And what can end up happening is that instead of you guys getting a recall, now they get the chance to do it to you.
Okay, I see.
And then what that can snowball into is either a Drake or like they get item advantage. So let's say they like slow push 2, they crash at 6 minutes, right? Then they came back at let's say like you slow push another 2, so they start slow pushing another one at 7, or like contesting the wave at like 6:30. This is Herald timing already. So if they get control of this wave right now, this will snowball all the way into Herald or Drake, right?
Mm.
And it's all because you guys didn't crash and recall.
Okay.
I think Drake is fine here. Your wave isn't too good, but it's not terrible either. And there isn't much to do in the game. What do you think of recalling right now?
I mean, it's fine. It's slow pushing towards us on bots. Vex backed as well. I have the same reset timer as Trundle.
I think it's good too. And I think it's important we understand why it's good. Because if these guys are hard pushing the wave, like they should.
I have to go and get it, yeah.
Yeah, right? But as long as you're aware of that, like everything is good. I think this recall is pretty good. Enemy is like playing very safe because they're not sure where Channel is. I think again, if they're a bit better, Jarvan should be covering them right now, and they should just be hard crashing this wave. But they fucked up, so you get a free recall. Okay, more stuff about this recall. You basically cheated a recall. This isn't very normal that you're able to do this, right? What do you know? What do you say?
I said that I could go on mid right now.
Yeah, but why can't you go on mid right now? Like, it's pretty normal for a support to recall and like walk mid, whatever. Like, this is normal. There's nothing special about that. But like, what about this game makes it different from other games?
For me to go mid or for me to go bot?
For you to go anywhere.
I mean, they're stacking wave bots, so I kind of need to be there for Varus. But since they didn't reset, they have no items. And I mean, Varus could outplay even if Jarvan is there. We have full vision, so I don't know. I feel like it's pretty risk free on bot right now. So I could go mid. I don't have any pink wards, so roaming like top or is not that necessary. Or it's not that good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think first thing you should do when you recall here, because I don't think you do it. Let me just make sure. Right now you should be looking at the wave mid, and you should be looking at what Akali is doing, because I don't know, like this is a pretty big item difference, right? Maybe she wants to recall, so maybe she's like hard pushing the wave. Maybe she's slow pushing a wave. If she's slow pushing, can you play 2v2? Like she died, so maybe she doesn't have flash. I'm not sure from pings. So
she TP'd back mid after she died. And she's just fast pushing because Vex reset and has no TP, so she's gonna have like a small timing where she's missing. Either she goes back or she just fogs and we can't do anything. So
yeah.
plus Vex is so far away. Like I feel like I don't have a play on mid right now.
Yeah, I don't think you can kill her either. But it's important that you at least look at mid and see what she's doing. Because if she just
Okay.
fast pushes the wave, yeah, you're never gonna do anything in mid, right? But
Okay.
what if she slow pushes the wave? And like even if
Yeah.
she fast pushes, you kind of want to defend this vision. And if she starts like walking into the bush with sweeper, and Vex and Trundle are nearby, you're just gonna fight, right? Because you win. So to me, it's important that like at least have an idea of what she's doing. It's just a really
Mm.
good habit to have. And then the other thing is everything you said about the bot, I agree with. Like it's very risk free. You have really good vision. It's almost impossible for Jarvan to like show up bot without you knowing in advance, right? So why not walk like this into the jungle? Because
Yeah.
Varus, he needs to go bot. Like this is 100% the case in this situation, right? And there's a small world where they try to dive him because I don't know, like you show mid or something, and they just take the opportunity. It's a pretty big wave, so even if they trade 1 for 1, it's worth it, right? But like realistically, this game, it's like you said, they need to recall these guys, so they're just gonna like slow push 2 waves and then recall, which means that you have a lot of time to do whatever you want. And if I'm their bot lane, I'm pissing my pants as long as I don't know where you are, you know.
Mm.
So you don't need to go straight bot. Just go into the jungle, like sit here.
But I mean, even if I go straight bot, I feel like I would fog and just like menace mid, menace
Yeah,
bot, menace top, menace whatever, just by not showing, but hovering bot just in case.
yeah.
Because
I
I feel
think
like there's nothing to do on mid. I don't have sweeper. I don't have wards. Even if I walk towards mid and like a red entrance,
Mhm.
it feels pretty pointless. So might as well just hover bot in case they try something and we can punish.
Yeah, and you don't even want to defend this ward because Trundle is over here, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. But my point is more, you shouldn't be walking like this to lane. Go like here and
Okay.
just sit in fog. Because fogging is really important. And like as soon as you show here,
Yeah.
it's like for
Do
their
smoke.
bot lane, it just means I'm recalling 100% of the time now. But for Akali and Jarvan, it means, well, maybe I gank Vex on this wave, you know?
Okay, I see.
And you can just make it a lot more awkward for the enemy team. Because you can also like force mistakes like this, or you can't really force them, but sometimes the enemy will make mistakes because of this. Like if they don't see you and they see Varus like freezing the wave, maybe Lucian is recalling here and he just dashes forward and like chunks Varus, right?
Hmm.
And then you just go over the wall and you flash on him, and is that you can't do that? It's illegal, right?
Yeah, but I feel the wave is really big, and the fact that I hold it is like better. I don't
Yeah,
know.
of course. Like if you can hold it, it's like
The
it's
timing was
always
the timing was I can't see that.
it's
It's 19,
6:19. Yeah,
20. Yeah, so there's like still 10 seconds until it crashes. And there's like 12 CS. So
yeah, but
yeah,
this
I
guy has
guess
3 potions.
okay. I guess.
It's just a small thing, but
Okay.
it
I
it helps for sure.
I agree.
Let's see what you do here. Do you guys remember what your plan is? Like, are you trying to contest Herald as soon as it spawns?
Uh, no, I don't remember honestly. It was
Alright,
like 2 a.m.
it's fine. What do you think you should be doing then?
Uh, what time is it? 6:42.
6:40. Yeah.
Um, well, we have bot control, so we can easily slow push into get like a good reset or like good move on mid for to play Herald. So I think Herald is the play. Drake is not up, so there's nothing else to play. I
Mhm.
think Rift is a good play to have right now.
What can you do? Like, if you, what's like the best way to set up for Rift right now? If you go all the way
Mm,
back here, so 6:30 right now on the clock.
So we have a freeze. Uh, maybe we stack two, roam mid, get mid pro, play rifts. I don't feel like we need to swap.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like stack two, push three, roam mid, play heralds.
And what are you guys gonna do this game?
I don't remember.
Let's see then. So far, have you noticed anything about stacking two waves?
I don't see what Varus is doing.
You don't need to. There's a rule about stacking waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to have control of the wave. It's like very simple rule.
Oh yeah, I'm not bot, so
Yeah, and you're gonna show on vision. Look, like I think what you're doing right now is fine. It's kind of what you were talking about. You're in fog. Enemy doesn't know where you are. You hit this. I think it's okay because if they start playing on Varus, you're so close you can just walk there, right? All of this you've done so far, I think it's fine. Why do you show here? And this is like I'm not sure if you guys are thinking what we're talking about right now, right? So maybe it doesn't matter that you're showing in this game, but for the future, this is an important thing, right?
Okay. Well, in my mind, I can't be punished because I just used the Square's Bloom over the banana behind blue. So I know there's no one there. Bot lane should be resetting into bot directly. So if it's someone, it's only like Lucian. It's only Nami Jarvan, and mid is contesting. I mean, wave is kind of on the side of Vex, but I mean, it's still like she can just fast clear and be there. I feel like it's pretty free ward to take off.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the issue isn't you taking the ward or like you being unsafe. It's that it's 6:50 on the clock, and you want to slow push this wave into crashing this wave that's coming, right?
Yeah.
And if Lucian Nami, they should be like really close to this point of the lane. If they see you clearing this ward, I'm walking forward, I'm getting control of the wave, and fuck your herald play.
Well, I think they reset like at 6 because the wave
let's
crash.
See. Maybe you're right.
Wave crash 6:40.
So they should be already resetting.
Yes, so they're like back at 6 at
like right
6:55, 7.
Yeah.
And I feel like since Jarvan is pathing bots, he should be there. But yeah, I think this is too much. I should just go bot and play mid and play the wave.
Mm-hmm. So when is it okay for you to do what you're doing right now?
Not on rift timing.
Yeah, that's a way to say it. I agree, but I think
not on a timing where we want to slow push crash bots.
Yeah, so I think if you don't want to play rift, even if it's rift timing, this is good because what's gonna happen is Trundle is bot side, your mid laner can move on the map, right? You can fog into bot, and now it doesn't matter if Jarvan is over here. You can't do anything because it's 4v3, right?
Okay.
So even if they contested a bot prio while you were gone, they can't move up the river. It's really awkward. Like maybe they can if the wave is already crashed and like they're moving together, right? Because depending on the champions, it's possible to do it sometimes. But generally speaking, like you're playing Vex Nautilus, if you see anyone on the river here, you're just gonna flash on them, one shot them, right?
Okay.
So they can't really do it. If you want to, let's say, dive enemy bot, or if you want to do this like 30 seconds earlier and have your mid laner roam bot, so you get covered for the stack, the two wave slow push, right? What you're doing is good, but I think this game, like it's so free to just start slow pushing right now.
Yeah, true.
So you shouldn't be looking to do this. Like again, it's good to go into fog. This is okay. I think getting this ward is a bit pushing it because bot lane should be almost bot already. They should be hitting the lane like right now. And then this is just grief. If your plan is to like slow push two waves and get herald, right?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's probably one of my biggest like negative points is I try to overplay sometimes and do two things at the same time.
Yeah, and like look, this game, the thing we talked about just happened. These guys now have full control of the wave, and playing this is a lot harder. Now, this Lucian is a griefer. He died for 1 CS, that gives him 15 gold. Congratulations. But, you're against better players, this never happens, right?
Yeah.
They're just running away and they're peace shielding, and then they're gonna walk all the way like this because your entire team showed bot, and now they have full control of Herald.
Okay.
And it was all because of your own mid, right?
Yeah.
But turned out fine, so I guess it was a good play. And again, like, I don't know what you guys' plan is in this game. Like, maybe you don't want to contest Herald or whatever. I think you should have, and that's why I'm talking about it. But if
Yeah, I think it
your
was free.
but if your plan is different in this game in specific, then like it doesn't necessarily need to be like bad what you did, right?
Okay.
I just think there was a better play, and with that in mind, you should play a bit different. What do you think about what you've done in these last 30 seconds?
Mm,
Let's go a bit back actually.
so we fast push crash. I get resets. Uh, hmm. I mean, we could play Rift, I guess, but we're not really looking for it. Yeah. Trundle resets fast. There's nothing to go on bots, so might as well mid. I see bot wave is getting pushed in fast, so I have to go cover Varus. I put a ward because potentially bot can move mid.
Okay, so I think a lot of stuff kind of happened, but at the same time not. Just a quick note about this word. I think a lot of people will see this word and they're like, oh, bot can like walk river, and I can get vision of bot lane. So this word is good, right?
Mhm.
I think this word is useless. Because bot can walk river, and they can spot this word. And they can kill it. And then it was a word that lasted 20 seconds. I think if your
Okay.
Vex is a good player, he's gonna sit here, and is gonna play safe. Because even if he knows that Lucian and Nami are here, right? He can't suddenly just walk up to the wave and like start hitting it. It doesn't matter if he sees them or not, you know?
Okay.
And I think unfortunately, if you're playing with like bad players or like people that aren't super good, it does matter if he sees them or not, because that's just how people work a lot of the times. But the good player, this word is useless, and you're just giving 20 gold to the enemy and wasting 75 gold. Okay.
So, do I put it like behind on the like red bush?
I
Or
think
do
you
I not
can.
put it?
Like if you want to defend camps, it's fine. I just don't think it's a good time to put this word anywhere right now, because look,
Okay.
like pink wards are good to defend an area, right?
Yeah.
And like putting a ward here is not bad. Your mid lane has push and you can contest bot, and like your 4v4s are pretty good, especially at level 6 from Vex. So I don't think it's bad to put a ward there. It's just not good to do it right now, because like look, Trundle is top.
Okay. I see.
Varus doesn't have control, so just not a good timing. Also, if you go all the way back here, so we just killed Lucian. Want to see what kind of summoners he used. I think he used cleanse, right? Just going fast, so
I'm not sure.
I can't tell. I don't think he did. I assume he didn't. Anyways, like you didn't see that he used it this game, so let's go with that information. I'm thinking that if you didn't use cleanse because Varus just got level 6, you could be planning for an aggressive invade here with like Trundle and Vex getting prio.
Mm-hmm.
But because we don't know, I think it's fine to just reset. It's like it's an okay play.
What about freezing and getting resets?
What do you want to do in the game? Like, do you want to just give Varus kind of a free next 2 waves and you go bot again and you cover him, or do you want to move on the map? That's the question, right? Because
I want to move, so
yeah, I think if your team is very coordinated, what I'd like to do in this game is like this guy resets because he just crashed the wave. I think.
yeah.
You guys crash this and you reset, you recall, and now Trundle shouldn't have done red buff because I don't think it gave him. No, it gave him level 6, so I guess it's fine. It resets with you guys. You guys start working towards a herald, or I guess you go mid first. You get mid prio, and then Kled goes bot, and then he can like ult. Worst case, in case bot lane starts moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this game, you guys didn't see it, so it's fine. You're just like playing it slow. Maybe you don't want to fight without Vex ult, which is reasonable. So because of that, there's not really any play. And again, like get used to. Maybe this game, maybe right now you want to walk mid because maybe Jarvan like tries to gank Vex or something, and you want to be there. But get used to like walk between the lanes that you want to cover. Oh, they changed X-Flash? Or is this like a setting?
What do you mean?
I've never seen it with an arrow like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's always like a circle. That's interesting.
I've always been like this for me.
Interesting. I need to look at settings to see what kind of setting it is. Your team wants to contest Drake. What do you think of the? What do you think about what's happening on the map right now?
Fix resets. I mean, we were scared of Jarvan. We thought that they might cross my bot because we were doing rifts. Trundle is bot. We see Jarvan. Vex is back mid. Topis has the push. So we can look proactively on bots. We want to crash and look for river control. That's why I use my...
So you can do Drake, right?
Yeah.
I think... what do you think about Trundle moving bot?
What's up? Is his golems up?
Yeah, but his raptors are also up.
Drake's timing is what, 1 minute? 1:09?
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a play where wave is like even on bots and it's not slow pushing towards them, so he could like do maybe golems, raptors, get mid prio, rotate bot like 4 men, and we play Drake after, or he could do raptors, golems, and then come bot, and we can play Drake from bots. I don't know.
I think you're getting the idea of like what I'm trying to say.
But he's maybe there too soon?
Maybe. I think it's more about right now you have Vex, you have Trundle. The champions are strong in the game, right? And they win the 2v2 in mid, I would say. I think it's pretty hard to lose with Vex Trundle against Jarvan Akali, with Vex being ahead. So what I'm thinking is, yes, you can go bot, and you can do what you're doing right now. But a lot of the times what's going to happen is that this guy is going to walk mid, Akali is going to get prio, both of them are going to walk bot, and now it's 4v3. And then they get control of the wave, they get Drake. Or at least they get control of the river, right?
So in this case, do I call to Trundle to just like get mid prio to come play bot, or
if you're the main shot caller, I think yeah, it's generally.
Well, I mean, in this game I was secondary, like later in the game, like early game he was doing it. But I tend to be like secondary shot caller more than first.
Yeah, I'm not really talking about this, so you can change your your teammates' minds in the game. It's more about understanding priorities when it comes to pushing waves and how they interact with other waves, right? Because let's say you could let's say Trundle was already here and you could crash this wave right now. The situation is completely different, right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to crash this wave. right now, and then you can move mid, and then you can give her prio, and then she moves Drake, and you have full control of river, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the situation in this game is, by the time you're gonna crash bot, you could also be crashing mid. It's gonna happen at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why not go mid?
Yeah, true. Okay.
And I'm just saying this because if you see a situation like this in review, or if you see it in solo queue or whatever, it's important that you understand this, because sometimes it's not Tronal that's here, it's you.
Okay. So in that case, I go mid.
Or maybe you go bot. It just depends on the game, right? But you need to understand why you should be doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so this game, Jarvan, I don't know what he's doing. He's not really giving prior to Akali. And he went bot instead. But like, we can imagine a world where you do this, and Akali is with Jarvan, and then it's a disaster, right?
Yeah, but in that case, I don't.
I would hope so, but you get my point. Like, you can't just walk into river anymore if Akali is
Yeah.
like randomly here.
Okay.
You're being too nice to this Lucian.
I should stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I didn't want to overstay. But
Yeah, but
I could just hover, like stay in the bush and.
yeah, and then you can just text flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think it's good that you guys go for the tower instead of the
Drake.
Drake. Yeah. Even if now there's like slight tempo advantage, I like this ping. So that's what I was gonna say. Right now, what you can do is, if enemy decides to like go Drake, you can move mid, go top, you get top turret, or at least like you get a lot of like you deny waves and you get it chunked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't go for Drake, you just open mid and you decide what you do after. You're actually swapping lanes. I don't like this play too much because I think I think about that better actually. I don't think Kled is like easy to dive. So maybe this is fine.
We wanted to play high tempo because we assumed that they would reset into Drake. Lucian was still bot, had to crash. Wave was decent on bot, so decent on top, so we don't lose that much, and we can just abuse top and still get plates because it's 12 minutes.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Kled swap, but the only thing I don't like about this play, I think the Kled swap is fine, is instead of you guys walking top, you should be walking mid.
Okay, yeah, get mid and go top as 4.
Yes. Because look at Vex. Like, she's really separated from the team. And it makes sense. Like, if I walk as Vex into the river right now, Jarvan is there, he ults me, I'm dead. Or I need to flash out. Like, I never want that to happen, right?
I mean, we knew Jarvan was bot side because he just did Drake.
That's true. But I still can't, like, get prio super easily. Lucianami is around mid right now. I don't know if they're in the bush. It's, like, scary. You can even see from the movement on the minimap.
I mean, Lucian backed because he was holding wave bots. And Nami Jarvan were up like full because they just came out of base for Drake.
Yeah. So only thing I would make difference in this play is you open through mid and Varus goes top straight up and then you just cover him.
Yeah, and so they went up and now we get free mid play.
Yeah, this is good. A lot of impatience by Varus. Okay. I think most of the stuff that we can talk about now is less about you specifically and more about like how to move the team around the map, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are just like trying to match people or if you want to make a play.
Um.
I assume that you're trying to make something happen because Kled is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me,
Uh,
yeah, tell me.
no, go for it, sir.
So to me, this is the same thing we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense that you don't push mid before going to sideline. Because like, yeah, Vex can do it alone against Akali, but I don't know if she's actually alone. And it doesn't cost you anything to just stay in fog near Vex, right? Like it's very different if right now you are here or like in this bush, doesn't matter, with Trundle, and Vex can just walk up to the wave like here and be a complete bonobo and just push the wave, you know?
Mm.
And now she can move and you get full control of this side. Lucian can't do this. He's literally dead if he steps in the lane because like you're literally 5 people going around and just diving him, you know? Like
Okay.
it just makes everything a lot more consistent and you get to place your pink ward and if you have wards you get to place ward. In this game you don't have them. And like for Trundle's case, like your entire team is playing topside. Why is he doing red buff? You know, just take enemy red buff or take enemy Krogus, doesn't matter.
Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, I
It's
feel like every time it's like playing one wave too early or like
or just
not
not.
being patient
Yeah,
enough
and
or
it's also like
securing prize.
mid means a lot in League of Legends because if you have mid prio, you're always first to move to sides. Like as a general rule. Like obviously if you're playing TF or Galio, it's sometimes different, right?
Hmm.
Um, but if you have mid prio, your champions can move really well and you can abuse Fog of War, which this champion likes. Your champion likes it a lot. Varus likes it a lot, right? So you should be thinking a lot about my team wants to be proactive. I want to unlock my mid laner from moving, and then we do stuff together. Because your champions work so well together. Like you hit one CC, and then you hit 3 more after, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening? This is such a random play. Like, this is the kind of stuff I see in scrims. Like, Vex going for a random solo kill in mid. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, obviously she got a kill. It's nice that she got a kill, right?
Hmm.
But
It
it's
doesn't bring much.
yeah, there's better stuff to do on the game.
Okay.
Obviously, if Lucian trolls and he does stuff like this, then yeah, you gotta punish it. I agree. But there's when you have so much control of the map like this, there's just better things you can do. This I like. You get mid control. Now look, it's so unplayable for the opponent. Like yeah, of course Lucian is dead, so it's even harder for him to contest this. But this could have happened like 1 minute earlier, right?
Okay, I see. But I mean, the 1 minute earlier, I didn't have any words.
Yeah, it didn't have
And we
words.
were
I know.
like, it was kind of like what do
If
you
we
call
go
it?
all the way
Like
back, it's like you're not actually gonna get vision when you do this right now. You're just gonna maybe place one pink ward and you're gonna clear vision. But clearing vision is enough.
okay.
Because you don't need to know where people are. You already know. Like look, you know that Fury is around here. You know that Nami is mid. Probably Jarvan is there too. Like you see everyone on the map, right?
Mm,
So you have
okay.
a general idea, and that's all you need.
So we can still play top
Yeah,
with
and
Trundle.
especially when you see this, like as soon as you see this, it should be because Kled is already like giving up that wave on bot. It should be okay. We walk here, we do something, we dive Lucian, and maybe we get like T2 top or something. Probably not because splits are up, but you can do that kind of this kind of plays, right? And it also enables Kled to just recall in Fog of War, and they don't know where he is.
Okay.
But yeah, this is good. Uh, this happens a lot where someone will be hitting a turret, and you see this on the map. Like people, they're just doing like a cross map play. It's good because sometimes supports do this too. It's good if like you just stay in fog. In this game, you did it properly. I'm talking about your teammates. Like it's pointless to go and hit this turret with Varus because we know where everyone is on the map. Like everyone that's scary except Jarvan, you see on the map, right? Akali, she's bot. Fiora, she's mid. Lucianami, they're mid. Like you know where everyone is, and you have really good vision. There's no reason to cover Varus. It's useless. So if you want to fight 4v4 mid, stay in fog, and then you walk here. And if you don't want to fight 4v4, what you can do is you can stay in fog anyways, and then you can like go for this turret as soon as someone tries to defend it, right?
Okay.
I think this game you're ahead, so you should look for a fight. Maybe like Vex having no ult and stuff like that makes it a bit awkward, but just staying in fog makes it a lot harder for the enemy to push. And now look at what happens. You're in fog, so they can't push. You clear the wave. If you guys, there's like a world where everyone starts moving top right now, and you get this T2 for free. Because they are forced to always go bot side. They can't go top. You have full control of it, you know? Okay. And maybe they get T1 bot, maybe they get some damage on T2, but you're always ahead in tempo on this play, right?
So what for you is we stay fog and Lucian hits solo top and we menace the
like here
collapse on mid.
Here Varus.
I feel like the T1 is good play, but I feel like going for T2 is a bit overextending.
If you go for it right away, yes, I agree.
We've been on map for so long.
Have you? You reset it after display. Maybe not Varus. I see.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, so you haven't been for that long.
I mean, 1340.
I think here, instead of them showing you just stay in fog, you see what the enemy does. Now that they show mid, you stay fog still, because you want them to not get this turret for free, right?
Yeah.
And you just keep control of this top side, like you're doing.
But
and
I feel like the fact that I show, like, pushes them off the tower.
It's fine for you to show. Like, now it's fine for you to show, because you want them to leave the turret alone. Yeah. But what is not fine is that they're showing right now on the minimap.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me.
No. What you're doing is fine. And this is what I think your teammates should be doing too. If I'm talking about like specifically your gameplay, I mean, there's no reason for you to be here without anyone, right? If someone, like if you find, I don't know, Fiora over here, she's just gonna run you down because your teammates are going topside. Whether that's your mistake or not, I mean, depends what the calls were and what people are thinking about.
Okay.
And yeah, after this, it just depends. Like now, as soon as you push them off the turret, if I'm Varus, I can start walking top, because there's no one that can contest him. And these guys can't walk top. They need to do like this if they want to do it, right?
Okay.
And it takes so long. And the best part about this is that you can literally stand here, and if they decide to push next wave mid, you just collapse on them. Like it feels so bad for the enemy team to play this position. But I think it wasn't used as well as it could. You still got Herald and like you stop them from pushing, so it's fine. But when you're ahead, you kind of want to push that lead on the map more, if you have the option.
Okay.
I'm not talking a lot about what you're doing specifically, because I don't think there's a lot to talk about, right? Like the game is pretty slow. When kills happen, it's a lot about mistakes and less about good play, I would say, even if there's some good stuff. This is your third Drake, right?
Yeah.
I think this is fine, using flash for her. Then you hold ult. Yeah, that's... Oh, she's going.
We said not too deep and she was like, I'm gone.
It happens to everyone. Oh, second Drake actually.
Oh yeah, they got one because we went up.
Alright, let's talk about this then. I think third Drakes are a bit special because they give you so much pressure on the game.
Mm.
Second Drake, it's kind of whatever. To me, you have.
I could just walk up and hook. No, I don't even need to flash.
You don't even need to kill her. And that's the thing I feel like you don't fully understand in this moment, right? Because look, like just 1 minute ago, look what he did on the map. Your team walked mid, got mid prio, got full control of this jungle. Why can't you do the same thing right now? Like, what's stopping you from doing the same thing right now?
Mm.
Maybe you only have one ward. Okay, that's fair. But you just put one here. You need another one like here or here. Doesn't matter. And you just clear your vision together, and it's basically the same thing as what happened topside, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, Drake is about to spawn, so let me kill someone, and we guarantee winning the fight," which is kind of true. I think it's a good thing usually. But it's also important to understand like what you're using and what this means later down the line, right? Right now, I don't think killing Nami for your flash and your ult is worth when you have so much control of the map. Like, if enemy is pushing mid right now and they have control of mid lane and they're gonna go and get Drake after, yeah, maybe you want to flash and just get control back, right? Because when you're playing champions like Vex, Varus, Nautilus, like, a lot of the game is about control. If you have control, you decide, like, one, you have a lot of fog of war, which is champions like. You get to decide how you're gonna engage and how you're gonna like play with flanks and stuff like that, which Kled and Vex like a lot, right? So when you don't have control, you want to use your tools to get it back, especially when you're stronger. But in this game, you already have control. So why do I need to kill this Nami? Like, if you walk here and you hook and you kill her, like, obviously it's really good, and I'm never gonna say it's bad. But if you don't kill her, it's fine. Like, nothing changes in the game. You still get this mid turret, you still get this jungle topside control, right? This skill is just 300 gold. It's not very good. And I think Nautilus Flash is more than 300 gold a lot of the times.
Okay.
What do you think you should do on the game right now?
I think we want to play topside vision. Bait them to come to Nash and turn.
I agree. How do you think your team should play for that to happen?
Mid top prio. Yeah, keeping high lanes so that they can't come contest vision without getting punished.
Okay, let's talk a bit about opening up the map. So right now, 2 people reset. Varus is about to do it too. Eternally's bot. I'm not really sure why. I think when you're resetting, and like you want to, like in this case, get top lane control, your first thought should always be, how are we going to open up the map, and where do I need to go for that to happen? So as a team, like right now Vex is at blue buff. I think she was taking blue, right? Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I think a much better use of your time is you go mid. Maybe this game you don't do it because map is kind of awkward. Like Tronley is here and Varus is all the way back, so you can't just go on the wave right away, right? But in an ideal scenario, you go mid first, you get control of top lane first, and then you do stuff that's a bit, it's like nice or kinda whatever, like blue buff. Like obviously blue buff is good on your mid laner. No one is gonna say otherwise. But that can come after, right? because tempo is really important. If enemy walks mid and they get tempo on this wave, that means that you're 30 seconds behind getting control of topside, right? And now suddenly they can move top and they can get prio top, and now you're 30 seconds behind on getting top lane control, and that can snowball into your Kled going top and getting a wave, and there being like 5 people mid, and you can contest mid, and it just keeps snowballing if stuff like that happens. This
So
game,
I run mid with Vex. We get mid prio, and then like we can go get some division.
yeah,
Then she gets blue on next mid wave because Varus and me push it.
yeah, and even if you don't get mid prio, because this game, look, like Trundle and Kled are top, Varus is really far behind. Like maybe you don't want to like risk and walk forward and get mid prio, right? But you get the wave as soon as they push it, and like you're showing your presence, so they can't do certain things. Like right now, if I'm Vex and this wave is already dead, and I'm like with you here, they can't go top anymore, because I can move together like really fast, right? Like it's scary for them to go top knowing that Vex is like that she can match. So I just think it's important to prioritize midwave in these situations.
Okay.
And like here is the same thing. People do this a lot. My team did this a lot too, because I didn't understand it very well back then. Like you never want to do 2 things at the same time, and this is obvious. Like everyone knows that, but a lot of teams don't consider going for vision over here and pushing mid at the same time 2 things, but they are. Right? If Jarvan shows up mid, I wasn't paying much attention to the map, but I think he's in fog the whole time.
Yeah.
Like if Jarvan shows up mid right now, who's there to protect Varus? And in the same sense, like if Jarvan engages on your Vex here, who's there to like protect her? Like you guys are kind of close, but not super close, right? I don't think in this game it matters because you guys are so ahead, and you probably have like summoners and whatever. But it's important that you make it a very consistent thing to get mid, and then you get something else. You don't do both at the same time. That's lazy, and it's gonna cost you a lot of games.
Okay.
I also think it's a bit weird. I don't know if this is because you're kind of like half-assing it, or you're not sure what to do, but this word is really awkward, and you're kind of like forcing yourself to put it because you're doing 2 things at the same time instead of just, if you're walking as 5, you're never afraid of someone being here, right?
Yeah, I think it's just in case the Jarvan is behind and
but look, you have 2 wards and 1 pink ward. You can't be wasting wards if you're gonna set up vision topside, right?
Yeah.
So
my pink is really bad too.
Yeah, so that's one more reason to not do this, of going and like scattering when it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And because this now you don't really get full control. I agree that this pink is not very good. I don't know if you were talking about the other one earlier.
No, I was about this one. I mean, I could just normal ward and like put a pink behind red or something, or just not use it because we're gonna reset anyways.
Yeah, if you're gonna reset it, I don't think you should put it. Ideally, you have like a ward here and one here, or like where Jarvan is. They're both good. I also think you got top line control and now you're resetting, which is really awkward. But I guess that's more because people didn't reset earlier. So not much you can do about that. So again, this is all very small stuff, but I think it matters. This and this, 2 different things, okay? You can't do 2 different things at the same time. It's not how the game works. Like, look how useless is Trundle right now. If you get engaged, what is this guy gonna do? He's gonna click E and flash over the wall? Like, he's so useless from where he is, right? And I don't think, again, like, yeah, maybe you're not too afraid of getting engaged because you're very ahead and blah blah, whatever. But it's just a bad habit to have because like 99% of the players they're not thinking, oh, I'm ahead so I can do this. They're just
Okay.
thinking, I'll go for this word while they're doing scuttle because it's efficient. But sometimes that will get you killed. It's the same as Vex going top right now. Like, look, why are you going here? Just go mid, get mid prio, then you go top. You don't need to go top right now. You can do it after, right?
Yeah.
Oh, almost got it. Disaster. Still in the fight though. But I think this could have easily been really disastrous.
Yes. I mean, Vex goes too deep.
Yeah.
Trundle
Not
tanks
much
like
on your
freak.
play, I think. Let's see. Good ult. Did you misclick Jarvan? Because Kali goes into fog.
Maybe. I think I just want to try and get double.
Yeah, okay. I think it's fine. It's probably the best thing you can do if you're trying to save anyone, anyways.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't notice you went this item. I thought you were going Solari.
Yeah. I guess I could have gone Solari. I would have probably gone Solari if the game had been more even. But since we were so ahead, I was like, it's gonna buff Varus and Vex. So yeah, I probably would not have gone it if it was close.
Okay, I propose the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I think if you're ahead, 150 shield is way more worth it than when you're behind.
Okay.
Because when you're behind, you don't have damage to kill people, right?
Okay. Yeah, I get your.
But in this game, like, I don't think it matters for this team fight. Let's be realistic. Like, people inted and that's why they died. It's not your item.
Okay.
But I think there's a world where like no one is dying in this team fight because of your item, you know. But there's a world where Varus dies because you don't have Solari, and then you're gonna feel really sad.
Okay.
If you have a target, like if your entire team comp is about one-shotting people, and like sometimes this item is good when you're ahead. In general, I don't think it's that great. But if your team comp is really about like one-shotting people and snowballing from that, I think it
Okay.
can be fine. This game, I think you have good DPS from Varus and Kled and stuff, so like you have more than enough damage. Like enemy team isn't tanky either, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't often go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the only two champs I go on it is Nautilus Leona, and yeah, it's more whenever I have like we have a one shot comp or something and I want to maximize damage, I go it. But
Yeah. If the enemy team is very DPS heavy and they don't
Mhm.
have a lot of threats to your carries, then I think this is good. But in this game, they have a Caulifla,
Yeah, I mean they even
Lucianami.
have Lucianami. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can stop that burst, it's really nice.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
I was kind of distracted, so not fully sure what happened so far. This
So
is
we get
good.
mid into bot into back mid.
You don't go Drake right away, which I like.
No, we called that we take Drake on the exits.
Yeah, I like that. Good flush. Nice.
I cancelled my R because I didn't want to get the riposte.
Oh. Wait, what do you mean by cancel? Like you were gonna cast it, but you just didn't?
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean
okay.
I even the same for the auto animation
Yeah, I think that's
because it
fine.
was the riposte. I think we finished on display.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Alright, so Let me try to remember everything that happened this game. Leash.
Flash, early
Or
flash.
yeah, so early flash. I think it's fine to trade it because you're not trying to play around bot lane anyways. Like you're not gonna kill them. You're not gonna trade summoners. You kind of just want to survive and do stuff with timings, right?
Okay.
I think this leash, as long as you understand why it can be bad, it's fine for you to do it. I wouldn't like to do it in a game like this because realistically, even if Trundle clears 10 seconds faster, this is not the kind of matchup where it matters, and this is not the kind of matchup where it matters. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you're playing like Sejuani versus Nar, maybe it's a bit different because like Sejuani can really trade hard, and then he shows up top at the same time as Jarvan, and you just win 2v2. But Kled versus Fury is not that kind of matchup, as far as I know. And you don't want to give that much control into enemy bot. But this is a kind of matchup where it's fine to do it if there's a good reason to do it. The slow push is a bit later. When does it happen? It's like... Okay, so here, I think it's... This is a big theme about this review. Like mid lane, if you have to choose between getting a side lane... Wait, is it this one?
No, this one is when Trundle shifts.
Oh, right. This one is about committing to it.
Yeah, but it's my bad. I should communicate exactly the timing.
Yeah. Because if he's not here right now, you're going to lose control of the wave. And that's the last thing you want to do. Because this is going to snowball into you not being able to recall, and then it gets really ugly. If you... Like, if Lucian Nami is recalling first against you, and they're getting Dirk, which this is leading to, right? They're about to... They're going to get around 1.1k gold. Maybe a bit more. Like, then you're feeling really sad in the lane. Because you don't have control of the wave. They have Dirk, they can just trade. Like, obviously, Lucian can just, like, walk forward and EU like a dumbass, but it's still way worse for you in 3v3s and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
Go over this. I like your recall here. We talked a bit about Fog of War. I understand that like tanking this wave and making your AD carry have more HP is nice, but staying in Fog of War makes everything a lot more confusing for your opponent, right?
Okay.
And then we also talked about Herald Wave. I think 630, you kind of want to start creating a slow push, so it's fine for you to move on the map, especially now because bot lane can't be there. But you can't go too far, and you can't especially do this, where now you're giving full control of bot lane to the enemy, right?
Okay.
What else happened? Here it was about... this roam I liked. Some roams you want to move like between lanes. I think this one is fine because sometimes Jarvan just goes straight into mid and you want to be there. Like if you're trying to counter gank, that's kind of the rule I use. Like walking like this is fine, but if you're just trying to make something happen or see what people are doing, then typically you want to walk like this or like this, right?
Okay.
Okay, this is the one. So, because the wave is even, and you're not really pressured to... Like, even if Varus loses 3, 5, 6 CS for this, which usually you want, you lose maybe like 2 or 3. It's fine if... because you're gonna push the waves at the same time, like if Trundle decides to go mid, he's gonna push it at the same time as bot lane, right? I think you should be prioritizing pushing mid, because you have a champion that can move on the map. If you have Victor... Yeah, maybe you don't want to go mid and like make him move on the map. Like sometimes you do, especially at like 9 minutes. He's not that weak of a champion anymore. But there's some champions like Cassidin or whatever that they don't really care. They can't do a lot at this stage of the game. Just depends on the champ. Because otherwise, what's gonna happen is now if enemy got mid push, they have control of river, and it doesn't matter if you have bot lane prior, right? And other than that, it was a lot about mid game. And when you're trying to open the map, think a lot about how you want to do it. I think in this situation, opening up through mid is a lot better, especially if you have a champion like Salus that can just go top instead, and like Varus goes mid with you, right?
Mm.
And it was a lot about situations like this, like optimizing plays and trying to not do two things at the same time.
Okay.
Alright, I'll stop the recording now.